All right, play it. Copy.
There was also a terrorist attack on Bourbon Street in New Orleans with 15 dead, dozens injured, after a terrorist plows ISIS flag-waving truck into a crowd on Bourbon Street. Now, I have a lot of questions that need.
All right, he talks about ISIS. Remember where ISIS comes from. Yep, can't talk too much about it on YouTube, but
be answered in regards to these two events. So let's just jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Like, why did the FBI Deputy Assistant Director claim that there were no definitive links between what happened in New Orleans and Las Vegas, even though the parallels between these two, the New Orleans and the Las Vegas attacks, are uncanny? Both of these guys were U.S. Army veterans who served in Afghanistan. Both of them were stationed at some point at Fort Bragg. Both of these attackers were killed in separate incidences. Both used the peer-to-peer car-sharing app called Turo, and both were IT specialists with computer systems knowledge. Nothing is coincidence with this type of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, you've got the Las Vegas police here saying that the Trump Cybertruck bomber was identified by a military ID and passport that was found in the vehicle because his body was burned beyond recognition. They could not identify this man from his remains, but they were allegedly able to find a passport, a paper passport that was able to survive the wreckage remarkably.
No going back, brace for
So how was he able to, pull off that miraculous magic trick? You also got to ask yourself, why did Elon Musk post this picture just a couple of days ago with the caption saying, "This Cybertruck looks like the future"? He also suggested that the evil knuckleheads picked the wrong vehicle for a terrorist attack. The Cybertruck actually contained the explosion and directed the blast upwards. Not even the glass doors of the lobby were broken. And I would ask, is it that, people just happen to be lucky that this was a Cybertruck that was used by this alleged terrorist and not some other vehicle because, the Cybertruck was able to contain this? Or is it more that these ammunitions, these bombs, these explosives were really meant just for the visuals, not actually meant to cause a massive amount of damage, but were really put there as more of a show of imagery when you consider that there were gas canisters and fireworks with, flash bangs going off. It seems it was more about the imagery and less about the damage. What's probably more infuriating to me is this image here that is going around the internet of the FBI taking a picture of this ISIS flag, and you've got people online claiming that they didn't want this image to be released because they're just lying to people and hiding the fact that this was ISIS. You got posts like this. They knew it was an ISIS flag right away, and the FBI agent lied about it to the world. No, they didn't, ladies and gentlemen. The FBI was very, very clear in putting this image out on purpose.
A previous.
all right, here's Robert David Steele of the CIA. He's a regular on InfoWars. Watch what he says here.
Most terrorists are false flag terrorists or are created by our own security services. Now, I have no direct access in England, but I will tell you that here in the United States, every single terrorist incident we have had has been a false flag or has been an informant pushed on by the FBI. In fact, we now have citizens taking out restraining orders against FBI informants that are trying to incite terrorism. We've become a lunatic asylum.
Yep, that sums that up. That's what I think of the New Orleans and Vegas incidents. Another false flag.